think by the time I get done, you're gonna be like, how many times did you go to jail, JC? And I'm gonna be like, I don't even know. Let's get into this video. What's up? My name's JC. I am Wrong and Strong. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, thumbs down. You already know. If you're part of my crew, mi familia, mi raza, mi pandilla, the Wrong and Strong family, súbanse a la suburban and let's take a ride down my crazy vida loca. You guys know, you guys seen my channel, you've watched some of my videos. I grew up in Chicago. You know, I did a lot of crazy shit in my life, and then I moved to Arizona and I kept on doing crazy shit. Didn't learn my lesson until I was in my 40s, and life is good now. But I have a lot of stories to tell. Man, it's gonna be a crazy week. Gonna be a crazy, crazy week. So, I'm fresh out. 2013, it's February. Fresh out of federal prison. I come out with a new mindset, a new plan. You know, I got my fitness training license, my sports nutrition license, and I'm gonna take over the world. I'm going from gym to gym to look for a job. You know, everybody's turning me down. Nobody wants to hire me. And I start to like lose a little bit of momentum, because you know, you come out hungry and you come out wanting to take over the world, and you know, still doing 1,000 burpees every day. And you know what I mean. If you've done time, you come out with this hunger that you just wanna, you know, take over. I had a 5-year plan, and in that 5 years, you know, I was supposed to get a job at a big fitness center, a big gym. Then from there, open up my own place, and then just go on and on and on. You know, it was a 5-year plan. My 5-year plan got derailed because I ended up going back to prison 3 years later. But, you know, that's when I got violated and I went to Victorville and all that. But anyways, let's go back. So I'm out, right? I go to 24-hour fitness, they don't want me. I go to all the small little gyms, I have to pay rent. I can't afford it. I'm still at the halfway house. I don't have shit. I don't have nothing. I still have my gray jogging pants. I'm fresh out. I end up getting a job at LA Fitness. And I was lucky enough that I walked in very, very determined. I asked to speak to the main person. You know, Kendra was the main boss of LA Fitness, and she was this blonde with colored eyes, super fit, and nothing gangster about her, nothing, right? So I walk in, she sees me, all tatted up, everything. She's like, we're gonna have to talk to the boss. You know your shit, but you know your felonies. You don't just have one felony, you have 6. So I'm like, alright. So the next day, I said, fuck it. I went and I got that construction job I really didn't want, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. You gotta pay your dues no matter what. So I'm at the construction job the next day, digging ditches, you know, and hating life. But happy to be out, blessed to have a job. And more than anything, you know, I was getting little things here, but you know, I had protein powder. I was really excited about getting fitness stuff. And I get a phone call. And it's the main corporate dude from LA Fitness, and he tells me, JC, I heard about you. He's like, if I stick my neck out for you, are you gonna make me look bad? He was from New York, from the Bronx. So he kind of understood my lingo a little bit. And I was like, no sir, I'll make you proud. I'll make you and Kendra proud, and you know, I'll be one of your top trainers. So he's like, when can you start? I said, right now. He's like, come in. So I dropped the shuttle. I told my boss I quit. We were all the way in fucking Mesa. I started walking all the way back to Phoenix. It took me like literally 4 hours to get back because I jumped on a couple buses. Got to the LA Fitness. This is the LA Fitness on Highland and Camelback. So it's, you know, if you guys are from Phoenix, you go, you know, it's right off the 51. It's like it's a Biltmore area, so it's a little high end. You know, so I was the only dude that looked the way that I looked. You know, I was really lean. I was doing a lot of prison workouts when I got out, so I was lean, tatted up. You know, I looked a little bit different. You know, I was 165 back then. I'm 230 now. So, just, you know, a burpee body. I always said a sureño body because the motherfuckers did burpees all day. Them Cali dudes, you can't fuck with them on burpees. But I show up, right? And he's like, well, you're gonna have to cover your tattoos. And I was like, well, how the fuck do I do that? Like, I'm covered from my wrists up, my legs, everything's. He's like, you're gonna have to cover up. This is your uniform. He gave me a black shirt, like a polo shirt. So I started walking and I was like, well, that's the next dilemma. I was like, all right, cool. So I go to Goodwill and I walk in and I only had a couple of bucks left from the money I had got from the gate. And I don't know, man, God just blessed me, man. I walked in, there were some Under Armour black pants. They were like $3. And there was these 2 Under Armour black shirts, long sleeves. They were like $2.50 each. And I got them. And I'll never forget that day. I was so happy because I had my uniform, you know. My gym shoes were semi good, so I wasn't worried about them. And I went to work the next day, and I was like excited. I was like, Kendra gave me my first 2 clients, so I started training, and you know, my life, I started seeing my life like really changing. You know, I would stay at work all day. I was one of the most hardest working trainers they had there. I would start at 5 a.m. and wouldn't leave till 9 p.m. because I didn't want to go back to the halfway house. So I took my little naps at the gym, on the floor, wherever I could. And I just worked. All the other trainers didn't want to get there till like 9 a.m. I was like, here, give them to me. And I had a full schedule in like a week. Well, in that week, I ended up meeting one of my clients that later became one of my girlfriends. And that day, she brought me something to eat, and she was like, hey, are you gonna need a ride back to the halfway house? It was a Thursday or a Wednesday, I can't really remember. But I was done for the day, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave. It was still early, it was like 2 o'clock. I'm just gonna leave, I'm gonna go back to the halfway house because I gotta do laundry and stuff like that. She's like, I'll give you a ride. So she gives me a ride, and we're on the I-10 trying to get on the 51. We're at a complete stop. All I heard was the brakes on a car behind us, and he smacked right into the back of us. She was driving a G-Wagon, and the car hit her so hard, and you know those G-Wagons are like tanks. Pretty much destroyed the whole back of the truck, like it totaled it. The ambulance got there. They actually had to airlift the dude in the car and the other passengers take on an ambulance. And you know, we were fine. My knee was hurting a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But anyways, we're standing on the side of the road, man, and highway patrol's there, right? And they're taking my name, they're taking her name, and you know, the highway patrol woman comes up next to me, and she's like, put your hands behind your back. And I started to go into panic mode because I'm like, why? She's like, put your hands behind your back. And I was like, ma'am, you don't understand. I just got out of prison. Like, I haven't been out for more than like 2 weeks. she's like, put your hands behind your back. So I put my hands behind my back. I kind of like threw in the towel right there. And she puts me in the car. And at the time, my girlfriend, she's crying and she's like, what did you do? And I'm like, nothing. I just got out. And the lady cop jumps in, and I hope that she knows one day she sees this, because I never saw her again after that day. But she jumps in and she tells me, and I'm like, ma'am, my name is Julio. And I told her my whole spill. I told her everything. I had to be really honest with her. I told her I just got out of federal prison. There's no way that you have the right person. And she's like, no, I have the right person. She's like, she read me some addresses, and I was like, yeah, those are my old addresses. She's like, you have a warrant for your arrest in Maricopa. And I was like, that can't be, man, because they do a check before they even release you to the halfway house. They run like a warrant check on you before you even get released. So that can't be right. And man, I don't know what it was, man. I know it was God looking out for me. I know he's always been there, like I've said in the past. The lady cop turned around. She was highway patrol. And she was like, you know what? For some reason, I really, really believe you. She's like, I'm finishing up my shift right now. And she's like, I'll tell you what, instead of dropping you off at 4th Avenue jail for you to get processed, I'll take you straight to the judge. And if you clear it up right there and then, I'll drive you back to the halfway house. And she did, man. She did. And she told me that her husband was a firefighter, and she, showed me pictures of him, and she was a really good person that actually took the time to take me to the court. The judge, seen me, dropped the warrant right away, squashed it, cleaned it all up, and she waited for me, put me in the car, drove me to the halfway house. I remember when I got to the halfway house, everybody was like thinking that I got in trouble again. And I jumped out, and I had to tell the halfway house, because if you have any police contact, you have to tell them. And plus I was like late for the curfew, and I had all the paperwork with me and everything. And but the thing is that she took the time to actually believe me, and took the time to take me in front of the judge, get the warrant squashed. Because she could have just dropped me off at 4th Avenue. I could have got processed, and I could have sat in there for weeks, even months, and then for them to figure out, then the feds would have violated me. It would have been just a big shit show. And this is what I have to truly believe, man, that God has always been in my life, and that when you try to do what's right, and when you really try and do what's right, like, good things do happen to you. We're so used to always doing wrong, and that's why always everything bad happens to us, because we're always doing bad, we're always doing wrong. But I honestly believe that when you're doing right, good things start to happen. I'm not saying that life is going to be peachy and it's going to be perfect. It can't be, because then it would be too easy. But I do believe that when you make the right decisions, good things do happen, and you can change, and you can make a better life for yourself. But that's just me. I don't know shit. I'm just JC. Hey, I dare you to be wrong to strong, and to do what's right, and to make a change, and stop being a sheep, be a leader, and show these youngsters that a real gangster takes care of his family and actually carries himself like a gentleman and a real man. My name's JC. I am wrong to strong. Don't judge nobody, stay in your lane, live savage, and remember, if you live easy, life could be hard. But if you live hard, life is pretty easy. I love you guys. Peace.